Between the hedges, Georgia dogs coming out. War Eagle flying over Jordan hair skies. Hotty toddy down in Oxford, rebels rise. Cowbells ringing in Starkville all night. Rocky Top singing in that Leland light. Anchor down Vandy, black and gold pride. Gamecocks crowing in Columbia loud and wide. Saturday light, y'all know the deal. SC pride, we keep it real from the swamp to the grove. Let that crowd roll. It's water cooler talk, we talk that score. Saturday light, y'all know the deal. SC pride, we keep it real from the swamp to the grove. Let that crowd roll. It's water cooler talk, we talk that score. Gators in the swamp, chomping all day long. Saturday nights in Death Valley, that tiger strong. So we Razorbacks, crowd calling the hogs. Blue Ridge battle Wildcats, bringing the dogs. Show me Miss Zoe, black and gold fight. Boomer sooner running on a Saturday night. Hook 'em horns, burnt orange in the sun. 12th man standing, Aggies get it done. Saturday light, y'all know the deal. SC pride, we keep it real from the swamp to the grove. Let that crowd roll. It's water cooler talk, we talk that score. Saturday light, y'all know the deal. SC pride, we keep it real from the swamp to the grove. Let that crowd roll. It's water cooler talk, we talk that score.
This is a presentation of Water Cooler Talk Sports.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, man, we appreciate y'all so much, man, for rocking with us here around the water cooler. My name is Nick Frazier, man, and we are back here on this Memorial Day weekend, and we are about to sit here and we're going to talk and we're going to take a look at this Mississippi State football team and what Auburn football will potentially go up against this Mississippi State football team. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for giving me a little bit of time today on your Memorial Day. I hope you had some good eating. Hope you had some baked beans. Hope you had some barbecue. Hope you had some chicken. Hope you had some turkey. Hope you had all of it, man. Hope you had a great day, and hope you remember the ones that sacrificed their time so that we have the opportunity to sit here on this here YouTube channel and talk about sports and have the opportunity to sit here and watch me talk about sports and interact with you in the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all so much for that, man. Let's get this thing rocking and rolling, man. Make sure that you do me a favor. Make sure that you go and you subscribe to these YouTube channels, man. Subscribe to I got Tez over at his SEC season. I got Tight Sports and Alabama Football Maker Cats. I got DC Wolf over at Auburn Addicts TV. Dustin over at the Uptempo Podcast. I got B Sharp over at Sharpshooter Sports Talk. Vandy Chris over at the Golden Broom Podcast. I got the legend himself, Bubba and the Old Man, Auburn Sports Talk, man. I got Kid Country over at Kid Country, and of course at the Huggy Beard himself on YouTube and on Twitter. Also, man, make sure you subscribe to our social medias, man. Follow us at CoolerSpot23 on Twitter, at the Water Cooler Talk on Instagram and TikTok, the Water Cooler Talk Podcast on Facebook, and of course, visit www.watercoolertalksports.com for all of your written article news there as well, man. We appreciate y'all so much, man, for continuing to rock with us here around the water cooler, man. Thank y'all so much, man. This is Memorial Day weekend, man, and I appreciate y'all so much, man, for giving me some of your time. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat rocking with us, man. You know I gotta always shout out everybody that rock with us in the chat before we get into this thing, before we get this thing rocking and rolling. Arbor Dad for life in the chat. What's up, Arbor Dad? Hope you're feeling good. Hope you're feeling great, man. My guy at the Huggy Beard himself is in the chat. What's up, Huggy, man? The legend of Sweet Sugar Bow Williams, the Rooster Mac is in the chat. What's up? There he is. Mr. Tim, the Toolman Taylor is rocking with us as well. What's up, man? My guy, Black Magic Racing is in the chat, man. What's up, Rodney, man? Hope you're doing good. Hope you're feeling great, my guy. AUTJ is in the chat. What's up, TJ, man? Hope you're feeling great. Hope you're feeling great, man. There he is. Jay Prince Jr. It's been a while since we seen you, my guy. What's up, Jay Prince Jr.? Mob Ties is back in the chat. What's up, Mob Ties? Hope you're feeling good. King Richard, His Royal Highness, is in the building. What's up, King Richard, man? There he is. I got Mike McKinney rocking with us. What's up, Mike, man? Hope you're feeling good. Hope you're feeling great. C-Hall, what you doing on the grill today, my guy? What you doing on the grill today, C-Hall, man? Appreciate you so much, man, for rocking with us here around the water cooler as well, man. And you already know, Mr. 21, can you do something for me? Mr. Ed Darby is rocking with us in the chat. What's up, Ed, man? Hope you're feeling good. Hope you're feeling great, man. Let's make it happen. Let's make tonight a great show, man. And we're going to get this thing rocking and rolling. 329J in the chat just snuck in now. What's up, 329J? How you feeling, my guy? Hope you're feeling good. Hope you're feeling great, man. Thank you so much. Y'all know what it is, man. Let's get this thing rocking and rolling. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but we have to talk about this Mississippi State football team. We have to talk about it. Trap game. Is this a trap game for Auburn when we go and play this Mississippi State football team? Spoiler alert, I think it is. But let's talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. You already know what it is, man. Let's get this thing rocking and rolling. You know how we do it. We got to start off with the coaches. We got to start off and look at what this coaching staff looks like for Mississippi State, man, and what we're going to be going up against, man. And everybody knows exactly, if you, underneath a rock, if you haven't know, we talk about this team. At least I talk about them a lot because I think what we're seeing from this Mississippi State football team is, they're trending in the right direction. They're getting incrementally better each year as you see them play. You start off with the coaching staff right here, man. Of course, you already know the guy that's in charge there. It is one Jeff Lebby. Jeff Lebby, who comes from that Art Browse tree, has a similar style of offense that we're going to see at Auburn this year under Alex Golesh. As a matter of fact, Jeff Lebby is the son-in-law of Art Browse, the brother-in-law of Kendall Browse. So you know that they have some discussions about offense and what exactly this offense can do and what it can look like. He's that close to it. So a guy that is that close to the situations and understands exactly what this offense needs to do and what it needs to do to work and work properly and efficiently, still wants to put his own spin on it and things and stuff of that nature. He is going to be in charge of this Mississippi State offense. There is no offensive coordinator. He just has an offensive assistant in Kevin Johns, who he just hired, who was at Oklahoma State this past season, but he is now on that staff with Jeff Lebby in Mississippi State. But Jeff Lebby is the guy that's calling plays, with the help of some people around him as well. But he is the final say-so of the guy that is going to be giving the quarterback the play in his ear of what he wants to see done when it comes to what they want to do on the football field. You look at that name, you look at the list. Name that sticks out right there, Philip Montgomery. Auburn fans should be very, very familiar with Philip Montgomery right there, man. Philip Montgomery was at Auburn for a season. At one point in time there, did not work out after that one season, even though that was the only season that they won 6 games when Hugh Freeze was the head coach and Philip Montgomery was the OC. So, yeah, there it is right there. And then, of course, the biggest addition to this staff, you look there and you see one Zach Arnett as the defensive coordinator. Zach Arnett is back at Mississippi State. He was the defensive coordinator underneath Mike Leach. When Mike Leach was the head coach. As we all know, Mike Leach unfortunately passed away some time ago, and as after his passing, Zach Arnett was promoted to head coach. Did not have the best stint as head coach of Mississippi State. That's the reason why Jeff Lebby is the head coach there now. But when he was just in charge of the defense, Mississippi State had a pretty decent defense. They put pretty decent numbers up on the board when he was just the guy in charge there for the defensive side of the football. When you look at that, man, let's keep this thing rocking and rolling. Let's keep it moving, man. You look at this, man. You look at Mississippi State's offensive scheme. What do they want to do? What does Mississippi State's offense want to do when they have the ball? Up tempo, no huddle. They want to get as many plays as they possibly can in. They want to be as quick as they possibly can when it comes to getting plays on the field. They want to have as many opportunities as they can to put the ball in the end zone and give as much opportunities to that offense to go put points on the board is what they want to do. RPO attack, man. RPO heavy attack, man. They're gonna use RPO. They're gonna use wide splits just like Auburn. They want to run the football. They want to run the football is what they want to do. They have a guy in Fluff Bothwell who was a transfer from South Alabama. He played at Mississippi State last year, but before last year, he was at South Alabama, transferred from South Alabama to Mississippi State, had a pretty good season last year for the Bulldogs there, man. And then this year, step into that picture, Kamario Taylor, who is going to be the full-time starter this year. Dual threat guy, has the ability to run and throw the football. And you kind of saw that last year in the last game of the season when State played Ole Miss and what he was able to do here. Four wide vertical spread. They want to push the ball downfield. They also want to run. They are a balanced team. They want to run the football and they want to take their shots downfield. You look at Brennan Thompson. Brennan Thompson was, if I'm not mistaken, he was the leading receiver in the SEC last year. He has now moved on to the NFL. But Anthony Evans is still there. He was on this team last year. Speedster guy. Anthony Evans, who was a transfer from Georgia, who transferred to Mississippi State, is back now on this team. It looks to be one of the top two guys that Kamario Taylor is going to be looking to get the ball to in this season. For the Bulldogs, man. You look at it. You look at that last point there. Mobile quarterback is a weapon. He wants to get Kamario Taylor's athletic ability included in games. 6'4", 235 plus pound guy, and he wants to make him a weapon in this offense. Is what he wants to do. That's it. A mobile quarterback who can throw the ball and be accurate enough has the ability to come in and make this offense work for Mississippi State is what he has, is the ability that he has to do in this offense, man. I'm telling you, man, this is dangerous. We talk about Byron Brown and what he has done. 3,000-yard guy, 1,000-yard rusher. Could Kamario Taylor have that same effect for Mississippi State? Could he? Could he get close to those numbers? It's a possibility he can. Is this a trap game for Auburn? Ladies and gentlemen, spoiler alert, I believe it can be. Let's take a look at the Mississippi State defensive scheme. As I stated before, Zach Arnett is back with the Bulldogs, man, and he is in charge of what this what this defense is going to look like. You look at what he wants to do, 3-3-5 scheme. 3 down linemen, 3 linebackers, 5 DBs on the field. He wants to have potentially that star type player, a very hybrid type player that can potentially either a hybrid type player that can play linebacker and safety or a linebacker and rush the passer. This depends on what you want to see there, man. That's what he wants to do. That is what he wants to do, man. And especially in this era of football, when you have offenses that are just so spread out, that wants to spread the field. You look at Auburn's offense. Auburn has the wide splits. You know, they want to utilize the hash marks with their offense. They want to utilize the space on the field to make and get mismatches for teams and put it in advantage for Auburn. They want to do that. So you have to be able to have tweener type guys that are very athletic, guys that have the ability to do so much more than just one thing on the field. And so by having this 3-3-5 defense, or, you know, potentially having a 3 safety look, or having that hybrid type guy that can play, you know, play in the secondary, play down in the second level of the defense, or a guy that can rush the passer and play the second level of the defense, you want to be able to have that, man. He wants to be able to be multiple as well. He wants to be able to disguise coverages. He wants to be able to make the quarterback think about what it is that they are seeing on the field and make them not just have one read. When you look at this Auburn offense, right? Auburn's offense is geared to, as I stated before, man, you want to be able to put the defense in a situation to where it is to your advantage as the offense. What Arnett wants to do on the defensive side of the ball is take that away from you. He wants the quarterback to think about what he's seeing. He wants the quarterback to think about what he is seeing. Some of the greatest defensive coordinators in football who do this, Brent Venables, Oklahoma, Mike Elko, Texas A&M, do a great job at disguising defenses and making the quarterback think and second guess what he saw pre-snap. That's what Zach Arnett wants to do. That is exactly what he wants to do in this defense and what he wants to do there, man. Spoiler alert. Is this a trap game for Auburn, ladies and gentlemen? I'm going to keep saying it. I believe it potentially is. I believe this is a trap game for Auburn. This is a dangerous game, ladies and gentlemen. This is a game where Auburn has to go on the road, and they have to play in an environment where it is loud. We talk about the cowbells all the time. The cowbells are going to be a problem. They're going to be loud. This is a trap game, ladies and gentlemen. Spoiler alert. We're going to pick who wins this game at the end of this show. But I want you to know right now, do I think this is a trap game? Yes, I believe it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is a big game, and especially where it lands at on Auburn's schedule. Where it lands at on Auburn's schedule. It lands in that November time spot. We talked about Arkansas on Friday, which is the game before this one. Mississippi State is next. Sanford, and then you have the big game at the end of the year of Alabama. If Auburn does what it is supposed to do in the first 9 games of the season, this is going to be a very important game for the Auburn Tigers. Very important game for Auburn. This is the game where you talk about the discipline of a team, not overlooking your opponent, not looking at historically what this team has been, not looking at historically what this team has been overall record-wise. People look at Mississippi State and be like, oh, man, Mississippi State was 2-10 Lebby's first year. Oh, they was 5-8 last year. But when you look at the games and how they played in these past 2 seasons with Jeff Lebby, in his first season in Starkville, Jeff Lebby went to Georgia, went on the road to Georgia and put up 31 points against a Georgia football team. In his first year, put up 31 points against a Georgia defense that was considered to be one of the best in the country. Lost that game by 10 points. You look at last year, the amount of games that this Mississippi State football team was in the fourth quarter. Why did they lose? Because they did not have enough depth on the defensive side of the football. Yes, they beat Arizona State at the beginning of the season. Arizona State was a playoff team the year before. Sam Levitt was the quarterback there at Arizona State at that time. Yes, they did that. But as the season went on, you saw where the depth of the defense did not match what it needed to be in order for them to win games. Case in point, Texas. I refer back to this game all the time when we talk about Mississippi State. When we will talk about them, they had a 24-point lead on Texas going into the fourth quarter. But because they lost focus, because they didn't have enough depth, Texas was able to kind of just walk them down. Whether it was on the special team side, whether it was Texas's defense, whether it was Texas's offense that was able to get some plays or the defense set them up to put the offense in favorable positions to go score the football, Mississippi State did not have enough depth on the defensive side of the football in order to go in and close games when they needed to. They didn't have that. Now you go back and get the guy that when statistically, the years when Mike Leach was the guy that was running an air raid offense. Statistically, the guy that had the best numbers on the defensive side of the football when he was there as a defensive coordinator, he's now back in Starkville as the guy. He doesn't have to worry about being the head coach. He doesn't have to worry about head coach things. He doesn't have to worry about all the other things. He doesn't have to worry about doing, the weekly radio show. He doesn't have to worry about going out kissing babies and meeting with the donors and all that stuff. All he has to do is sit in front of a room, sit in front of a board, and figure out exactly how he can attack this Auburn offense with what they have, man. Shout out to everybody that's rocking with us in the chat, man. I want to see what everybody's saying in the chat. Man, appreciate y'all so much, man, for rocking with us as well, man. Shout out to the Huggy Beard in here, man. We appreciate you so much, man. Huggy Beard said, man, I think he's speaking to Rodney, man. What's up, man? We appreciate that so much. Yes, Tim the Tool Man Taylor said yes. So that's what Philip Montgomery with. That is exactly where he is. He is in Starkville right now. We appreciate that, man. Tim said, man, hit the like button, man. We need y'all to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, man. We appreciate that. so much, man. Thank y'all so much, man. King Richard said, I say this much. If Mississippi State can put a better defensive scheme on the field this year, SEC better be put on notice. I agree. I'm with you there, man. I'm with you on that one, King Richard. I'm with you. You understand. Calvin Peterson in the chat. What's up, Calvin Peterson, man? Shout out to you, my guy. Mob Ties in here, man. He said State started what, 5-0 last year? That will be a tricky game, but I think we still win by 10 plus. Oh my God, Mob Ties. Come on, man. Wow. That is it, man. Wow, that's a big number, man. Tim said Arnett was a good DC. This is going to be a tricky game for sure. Yes, it will be. King Richard in here saying, man, Mississippi State football will do the same as their softball team and surprise a lot of teams. Hey, I'm telling y'all, we're going to keep talking about this a little bit more tonight, man. We're going to talk about this, man. Coming up right after this break, we're going to talk about the offense, and we're going to talk about Kamario Taylor. Is he the X factor in this game? We're going to take a look at it and see right after these messages, ladies and gentlemen, from our sponsors.
You want a solution to protect your family in a moment of crisis. Freddie Metro provides those solutions to protect your family and build real wealth. Serving Alabama and Georgia with trusted advice you can count on. Call him today at 678-870-4001. Freddie Metro, protecting families, building legacies. SEC football fans, this is your channel. Every Tuesday, it's time for SEC Season Live, the most interactive SEC football experience on the planet. Live chat voting, hot takes, weekly rankings, real debate, and you help drive the conversation live on air. Then, every Thursday, hit the reset button with Lunch Breaks, your lunch break destination for real SEC football talk. Reactions, storylines, and unfiltered opinions from across the conference. If it matters in the SEC, it matters here. Subscribe now to @It's SEC Season, and don't just watch the conversation, be a part of the show.
Yes, sir, man. We appreciate y'all so much, man. Shout out to everybody that rock with us here around the water cooler, man. Shout out to our guy, Freddie Metro, man. At some point in time, you have to get your affairs in order. You have to, tragedy or something unexpected is going to come, and you want to be able to have everything in order so that it is a smooth process and smooth transition if the worst happens, man. Serving Alabama and Georgia, man, I got Freddie Metro can help get those affairs in order and get that potential of wealth building in place for your family when that time comes. Call him today, 678-870-4001, or you can email him at freddiemetro@gmail.com, man. As well as, man, shout out to our guy Tez, man. Tez at It's SEC Season, man. Every Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Central. SEC Season Live, man. The ranking show. There will be some changes to the network per Tez, man. So stay tuned, because I'm telling you, you all want to be a part of this. I'm telling you. But come over there Tuesdays, man, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, where we are doing the Fans versus Day series. Make sure you're over there tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. Central Time, where we will be, I think it's on week 9. I think we'll be on week 9 or week 10 of the season, where we'll be picking games and we'll be building the information and the index of what of the SEC fans, because you all know football better than the experts do. Also, man, lunch breaks every Thursday, 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Man, come join. I got Tez. DC Wolf be over there as well too. Man, eat your lunch, man. Heat your lunch up and take and come over there and chill with I got Tez, man, for SEC season launch breaks as well, man. Also, as you all know, man, the pregame playlist. We are getting close, ladies and gentlemen. June 29th. It premieres the pregame playlist, a new morning experience. Your morning, your sports, your playlist, man. A new morning experience here on YouTube and on Water Cooler Talk Sports Network, man. 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. 2-hour morning show, Monday through Friday, starting June 29th, 2026. The pregame playlist, your morning, your sports, your playlist. Make us a part of your morning routine and press play on the pregame playlist. Ladies and gentlemen, man, we appreciate y'all so much, man, for keeping it and rocking with us. All right, let's keep this thing rocking and rolling, man. Kamario Taylor. We talk about Byron Brown a lot as Auburn fans. We talk about him a lot. And we talk about how he has been in the system with Alex Golish for a number of years and how he understands the system and how he is just athletically potentially superior to a lot of teams that he's going to be playing. What is the measurements of Byron Brown? 6'4", 6'5", 235, 240, pushing 250. Kamario Taylor's in that range, ladies and gentlemen. He could be an X factor in this game. The way we talk about Byron Brown as Auburn football fans, I am pretty sure there are Mississippi State fans that look at Kamario Taylor and says, what is he lacking that Byron Brown does not have? The experience. Everything else he has. I asked the question earlier. Could Kamario Taylor be a 3,000, 1,000 yard guy in the SEC? This is a guy that was a consensus 4-star, 5-star, 5-star guy in his recruiting class when he was coming out of high school. He's from the state of Mississippi. Hometown kid. He's from the state. There are a lot of expectations for this guy as well, man. Let's take a look at it, man. Kamario Taylor. What are you getting from this guy? As I stated before, he was not the full-time starter last year for Mississippi State. But you saw him getting games. Blake Shapen was the guy last year for them. But Blake Shapen was injury prone. I think he had concussion problems last year as well. But this kid, Kamario Taylor, brings a different style, it's something different about this kid that he brings to this offense that potentially fits with what Jeff Lebby wants to do offensively. When you look at this, right? 6'4", 230 pounds. He's a sophomore. He will be the full-time starter this year. There is no doubt about that. You look at what his numbers were last year from the games that he did play. He had one start last year, which was against Ole Miss. And I would suggest a lot of you all go back and watch that game and see exactly how he performed early on in the game and what his potential is. 54% completion, 388 yards passing, 395 yards rushing, 7 rushing touchdowns. He is the prototype for this system. He is the prototype of what this system can be when it is working at its peak. He is the guy that can lead this team to 8, 9, 10 wins. I want to ask you, do you all remember back when was the 2014 season? Auburn went into Starkville and played Mississippi State. Mississippi State was like ranked number 2, number 1 in the country. I think if people remember, I believe that was like a 1-3 game. Auburn went in and lost that game. Why? Because Dan Mullen had his guy at quarterback that was the prototypical guy that fit the system of what he wanted to do. Kamario Taylor fits this system of what Jeff Lebby wants to do. Dual threat guy, has the ability to push the ball downfield, and has the ability to take off running when need be. We already talked about his ability to run. 7 rushing touchdowns last year, man. He has the elite upside as well. He was Mr. Football in the state of Mississippi as well, man. He was a 4 or 5-star. He was a 4-star guy, 5-star guy on some recruiting services last year as well. So he is a talented kid. Talented kid. Can't overlook this kid. Talented kid. And he's just a sophomore. He's just a sophomore, man. He's just a sophomore. The concern, as I stated before, experience. Experience is the concern when it comes to Kamario Taylor. That is where it's at. But he's just a sophomore, and he has that ability to potentially learn this offseason, knowing that he's the guy going into the season. Has that ability, has that confidence, has that wherewithal to sit in, understand what it is that they're asking him to do. And I'm not going to sit here and I don't think that this offensive staff is going to put him in positions that will not showcase his ability correctly and to his fullest potential. They're not going to make him do something that he cannot do, is what I believe. We've seen that at Auburn. I'm just going to say, we've seen the opposite of that at Auburn, man. You take a look at this offensive depth chart of what it potentially could look like. You talk about Kamario Taylor at that quarterback position. Anthony Evans is back. Anthony Evans, the speeds guy. He was a transfer from Georgia. He is back in this receiving core for Mississippi State, man. Aiden Williams, he is back. He's in this receiving core as well. You look at Fluff Bothwell. I talked about him earlier, the transfer from South Alabama. He was on this team last year, had a really good season last year running the football when he was healthy and stuff of that nature. You look at you look at this team and losing Brennan Thompson. I will say this. Brennan Thompson, if I'm not mistaken, if my numbers are correct, was the leading receiver in the conference last year. And he was on this Mississippi State football team. He has now moved on to the NFL. Losing that type of production is very, very important. But Anthony Evans III has the ability to step in, and he has the ability to match or exceed that production with the way that this offense is ran. When you saw Anthony Evans get the ball in open field, when the ball was in his area and he caught it, it was almost like as soon as he caught it, if nobody stopped him immediately when he got the football, man, he was off to the races, and it was probably 6 days. Man, I tell you that. Man, let's take a look at this offensive line. We all talk about offensive line all the time. We talk about the offensive line all the time. We're talking about it at Auburn. You know, there are concerns about what the offensive line is going to look like at Auburn this year and things and stuff of that nature. There may, like a lot of people talk about it. We talk about it all the time. It's nothing different here. The problem, Mississippi State had a problem last year with the offensive line. It was a very young line. So what did they do? They brought in some guys that had some SEC experience. They brought in some other guys that can come in and help build up that depth on the offensive line just in case something were to happen. Biggest name that they brought in, DJ Chester. You see him right there as a guy that's potentially can come in and be that anchor on this line. He's a transfer from LSU. He's one of those guys that are transferring from LSU. You look at Blake Steen. You know, he is back on this offensive line. He was in this room last year. You look at Shumpert Perkins. He has had a breakout spring. He has the potential of coming in and solidifying his spot at left tackle as well. When you look at this type of offense, right? And I liken it to what Auburn is. Like when we have the questions about what Auburn is and what the offensive line needs to be for Auburn football and how it is important and how, you know, this thing could potentially, you know, like how will the offense look? We've had conversations about how this, like, as the offensive line goes for Auburn, so will the offense goes. We've had this conversation ad nauseum, and there are difference of opinions. I'm of the opinion that I think that this offensive line does not need to be what we all think it. What we all think. It doesn't have to be people movers. Auburn's offensive line does not have to be people movers. It does not have to be that. They just have to be great at the point of attack, in my opinion. I'm thinking with when you look at what Auburn is doing offensively, schematically wise, you look at what Mississippi State is doing offensively, schematically wise, they're similar in style, similar in taste. When you look at it, it seems as if their offensive line could somewhat be similar to Auburn. So how does this affect Auburn's defense? How does Auburn's defense react to what they are going to see? Now, it doesn't hurt that you are going up against an offense every day in practice that is similar to what you're going to see in this game. Because spoiler alert, ladies and gentlemen, is this a trap game? Spoiler alert, I think it is. What does Auburn have to do in this game? What does Auburn have to do in this game? My biggest concern for Auburn's defense going into the season is not the front line. It's not the linebacker core. It's not the safeties. My biggest concern in this game is the cornerbacks. The cornerbacks. Yes, I've seen Andre Jordan Jr. play great at UCLA. He locked up a lot of big-time receivers in the Big Ten last year. Jeremiah Smith. He locked up a lot of guys over at Penn State last year. Go back and watch him. Go back and watch some of his highlights. Go back and watch some of those games that he played at UCLA and see exactly how he was in those games when he played against those big-time teams. When you talk about what this offense wants to do, about how they spread everybody out and they make you commit to the box of where you're going to play the run or you're going to play the pass. That's what we talk about with Auburn's offense. This is similar. I want to keep reiterating this fact. These offenses are similar to each other. Little bit of variation in between, but similar in style. Correct? When you have an Anthony Evans III one-on-one with a cornerback in this particular offense, If he gets loose and a cornerback gets beat, ladies and gentlemen, it is a touchdown waiting to happen. Touchdown waiting to happen. So the biggest question mark when it comes to this Auburn defense is the cornerback position. Cornerback position. I don't doubt the talent. I don't doubt the talent at the cornerback position for Auburn. I just doubt I doubt enough experience. New guys, breaking in new guys at these corner positions. You look at every level of the defense, interior defensive line, you have some guys that have played in this defense before. You're breaking in some guys at the edge positions that are new, but have been in somewhat of similar systems. Linebacking core, no question there. They're going to be able to step up, stop the run, and hopefully be able to control the middle of the field when the passing game is going. Talk about Eric Winters. You talk about New Boy Fagan. You talk about Jacoby Matthews. You talk about all of these guys in the safety room. You look at those guys and you say, man, all right, I like what I see there. But by the time this game does happen, you would have played 9 opponents. So my comfort level in what these cornerbacks could be at that particular time in this season, they would have seen the wide receiving core of LSU. They would have seen the wide receiving core of Tennessee. They would have seen the wide receiving core of Florida. They would have seen the wide receiving core at Ole Miss. So they would have been tested enough to know exactly what potentially they're going to go up against, because I'll tell you this, Mississippi State's wide receiving room may not be as talented as those other teams that I just mentioned, but the way that they scheme up and get those guys open is just as dangerous. Go back and watch Mississippi State last year, man. I want you all to go back and watch Mississippi State last year. Go back and watch this team last year and just look at how many times these wide receivers, Brennan Thompson, Anthony Evans III, just seemed to be open all the time. And when the ball got to them, it just always looked like it was a big play waiting to happen. Go back and watch this team, man. I'm trying to tell you. It's something there, man. I'm telling you. Is this a trap game? Spoiler alert, ladies and gentlemen. I believe it is. I believe it is, man. Man, Tim the Tool Man Taylor said, man, Richard, I agree. I'm also curious to see what Montgomery looks like. They'll be a team to watch. Yes, they will be. Man, I like that, man. Shout out to I Believe Crimson in the chat. What's up, I Believe Crimson, man? Appreciate you so much. Montage, man. What's up, man? Yes, W pregame playlist, man. Everybody be on the lookout for that, man. P-Pass is in the chat. He said, I endorse going to Starkville. It is worth the trip. Those cowbell people treated me like a king during the Egg Bowl. Shout out to P-Pass, man. Shout out to you, my guy. We appreciate you so much, man. King Rich said, if Taylor stays for the next 2 seasons, Mississippi State, he will break records and will be a first-round draft pick in the 2029 NFL draft. Lofty pick. That's a lofty pick right there. Okay. I like that. Ladies and gentlemen, man, we're going to take a break right here. We'll be right back. And when we come back, we're going to talk about Zach Arnett and the defensive side of this football and what Auburn's offense is going to go up against with Zach Arnett in this defense. That's what we're going to take a look at. We're going to take a look at this and see exactly what Auburn has to do in order to win this football game. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back right after these messages. Everybody wants to look like a star when they step out, including you. That's why Hollywood Media got you covered. From clean portraits, corporate events, and even athletic events, they capture it all. These ain't just pictures. This is your moment. Follow now on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Hollywood_media. And follow on Facebook at Hollywood Media with 2 A's. Hollywood Media. Feel like the star you are. Breaking news. Every Sunday night, DC Wolf brings you the biggest stories, hottest takes, and everything you missed across Auburn athletics, from football to basketball and beyond. If it's happening on the plains, you will hear it here first. Live Sundays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central, only on Auburn Addicts TV. Yes, sir, man. Shout out to everybody that rock with us here, man. I got DJ Hollywood Media, man. Feel like the star that you are, man. Go check out our guy, man. He has portraits. He does events. He does athletic photography, man. Anything that comes to the media game, man, trust me, I got DJ at Hollywood Media can get it done for you, man. Go follow him on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Hollywood_media. That's Hollywood and EY. Then, of course, follow him on Facebook at Hollywood Media with 2 A's, man. Shout out to that guy, man, DJ, man. That's my quarterback. That's my guy, man. I appreciate y'all so much, man, for rocking with us, man. Also, man, breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Have you heard Auburn news today? Every Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time with our guy, DC Wolf, over at Auburn_Addicts TV on YouTube. Make sure that you tune in there, man. I be over there. Bubba be over there. Tez be over there. And, of course, DC Wolf is there, man. And we are breaking down the latest in Auburn news from the previous week, man. And we kind of forecast what may happen in the upcoming weeks, man. So make sure that you tune in, man. Make sure you go over there and subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell as well over on Auburn_Addicts TV, man. Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central on Auburn_Addicts TV. Ladies and gentlemen, man, let's keep this thing rocking and rolling, man. Thank y'all so much, man, for continuing to rock with us here on this Memorial Day weekend as we get this thing moving, man. Defense. Zach Arnett is back at Mississippi State. He's back on the sidelines for Mississippi State. As I stated earlier in the show, Zach Arnett was the defensive coordinator there when Mike Leach was the head coach. Mike Leach, we all know Mike Leach, RIP to Mike Leach, unfortunately passed away a couple of years ago. But he was known as an innovative guy. He was known as a guy that would just try to keep it as simple as possible. And he did it in a way, it was simple, but it was almost complex as well. You know, Mike Leach had the ability to be able to run an air raid and just get the ball to his playmakers, let his playmakers do what he wanted to do. At that time, the defensive coordinator was Zach Arnett. Zach Arnett has worked in an offense that looks similar to what Jeff Lebby wants to do. Similar. Yeah, they want to throw the ball around. They want to get the ball to their playmakers. They want to spread you out and things like that. But there is more of an emphasis on running the football in Jeff Lebby's offense than there was potentially in Mike Leach's offense as well. Let's take a look at Zach Arnett and what this defense looks like underneath a Zach Arnett style defense. What is the Zach Arnett effect? Let's see. Man, so you look at Zach, right? You look at Zach Arnett right here on the screen. You look at the graphic here and what it's on. I was doing my research for this show. It was surprising to me how the numbers changed when he left. When his focus stopped being firmly on the defense and when he was let go as the head coach, the numbers flipped. It was a big difference here. As we stated before, 3-3-5 is what he wants to run. His quote at the bottom: physical, relentless discipline. That is the standard. Coach Golis has stated has stated those things. He wants a violent, physical defense that gets their hands on the football, that creates turnovers, is what he wants to do. And if you was at A-Day with Auburn, you saw every single time the ball was in the air, Auburn's defense was looking to get their hands on the ball and create turnovers. Is what they were doing. That's what they were doing. Zach Arnett is going to do the same thing here, because you have to understand how this works. With the offense that Lebby and Golis run schematically, they want to run as many plays as they can, upwards of 85, 90 plays a game, if possible. You know, they have to have volume in order to do what they need to do to put points on the board, to give your team an opportunity to win and put points on the board. They need the ball as many times as they possibly can. And what do you need with that type of offense? You need a defense that is attacking. You need a defense that is going to be able to potentially get their hands on the football and flip games, flip fields, flip possessions is what you need. You look at the numbers over there, man. 2025, Coleman Hustler. By the way, Coleman Hustler is on Auburn's defensive staff right now as an outside linebackers coach, defensive ends coach, working on the defensive side of football. 2025, Hustler. Points per game allowed, 30.2 points per game. 5.96 yards per play allowed. 2024, 34.1 points per game, points per game allowed. It was one of the lowest in the SEC. 2022, when Arnett was just the defensive coordinator, when he was just a guy that was just focused on defensive production and what the defense needed to do in order to help the football team win, 23.1 points per game on average is what Mississippi State was doing when he was just in charge of the defense. Now he's back. Now he's back at Mississippi State. He doesn't have to worry about being the head coach. He doesn't have to worry about those responsibilities. He doesn't have to worry about doing all the extra stuff that head coaches have to do. All he has to do is just be the defensive coordinator, look at what the opposing team does, find their weaknesses, and then be able to exploit their weaknesses and make them do something that they're not comfortable in doing. Man, I'm telling you. The numbers, you look at the scoring defense, the numbers show you what it looked like when his focus was taken off of just being the defensive coordinator. What does that remind you of? DJ Durkin. In 1 week, he went from being just a defensive coordinator to the interim head coach. And what happened in that week? The defense gave up more than what they gave up in the whole season. Up until that point, up until the Kentucky game, Auburn's defense had not given up more than 24 points per game. Coaching change happens. DJ Durkin had to take his focus off of just the defense, and he had to look at he had to be the guy that was in charge. And what happened in that game? Well, the first quarter, guess what? The defense looked like they were supposed to look. They were able to only hold Vanderbilt to 10 points. But he wasn't able to get in halftime and do the adjustments that he needed to do. And what ended up happening? Vanderbilt ended up putting 30-plus points on the board and won that game and ended up putting 40 points on the board. Now, guess what? Now he's just focused back on the defense again with Durkin, and I'm expecting this defense to be just as good as they were those first 9 games of the season before they played Vanderbilt. It's the same thing happened with Zach Arnett when he was at Mississippi State before. He was just focused on the defense, and he was doing his big one. But then he was forced into the position of being the head coach, and now it took his eyes off the ball. Man, you're looking at Mississippi State's defensive depth chart of what it potentially could look like. Here, you talk about Will Winton. We talk about Kelly Jones at that cornerback position, who potentially is a guy that a lot of people feel could be on a lot of preseason SEC, all SEC lists. He could be one of those guys. You look at Dalen Evans. Dalen Evans was a guy that was at Texas A&M last year as a redshirt freshman, transferred to Mississippi State, and now has potential to come in and wreak havoc in the middle of the defense. He has the potential to come in and make a name for himself and become one of those top guys in the SEC. You look at Isaac Smith, one of those hybrid guys. You talk about this 3-3-5 defense, right? You talk about this 3-3-5 defense. Isaac Smith has the ability to come in and be one of those tweener guys in this defense that has the ability to play at potentially all 3 or 2 levels of this defense and be able to guard many different people. You look at Amari Williams, FSU transfer, right? You see him coming off the edge, 6'4", 240. Have to have a guy that to be able to rush the passer in this defense. You look at the LSU transfer, Jardian Gilbert. I hope I said his first name correctly. You look at what he does. He has SEC experience, has played in the SEC. Auburn had that. Auburn had Xavier Atkins. He was at LSU, transferred to Auburn. And what happened with him? Ended up being an All-American and an All-SEC guy after this past season. Man, the problem with Mississippi State last year was the fact that they were not able to have depth on the defense in order to sustain leads that their offense put up for them. They were not able to have depth on the defense in order to sustain leads that their offense allowed them to play with. They were not good with playing with the lead. They were not. They either played great in tight games or they lost big leads. Just be real about it. That's what they did. And so now you bring Arnett back in, and now you have him just focused. I want to keep reiterating this. He is now just focused on the defense. He doesn't have to worry about the head coaching responsibilities. The same thing Durkin. Durkin doesn't have to worry about the head coaching responsibilities. He is focused on the defense. What does Auburn's offense have to do in this game? What does Auburn's offense have to do in this game? Well, for one, Byron Brown has to be a weapon. Byron Brown's arm has to be accurate in this game, in my opinion. He has to put the ball in places to where only his guys can get the football, because if not, Mississippi State is going to be attacking the football as well. Just like Auburn is going to be attacking the football, Mississippi State is going to be attacking the football as well. It's just plain point blank period. They are going to try to take the football away because they want to get the ball back to their offense and give their offense the opportunity to put more points on the board and give them more opportunities for possessions as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I really want y'all to know that this is a team that we cannot, as Auburn fans, overlook. We can't. We shouldn't overlook any team, honestly, on the schedule. History of Auburn in the past 5 seasons tells us we can't do that. Haven't won over 6 games since 2019. But I want people to know, spoiler alert, is this a trap game? Yes, it is. This is a dangerous game as well. Zach Arnett being back just in charge of the defense, low-key kind of bothers me a little bit. Because the numbers tell us what it looked like. You know what? I want you all to look at this. Look at the 5-year stats of what it looked like when he was in charge of the defense. Look at 21 and 22. Look at 2021, look at 2022, right? You look at the offense. Offense put up 29 points, put up 29.1 points per game. 22, they put up just over 31 points per game, right? You look at the defense. Look at what the defense looked like when he was in charge. 2021, 2022, when he was just a defensive coordinator, look at what the defense looked like. It got better in scoring defense. They went from 26 points per game to just over 23 points per game. 2022 was their best season. They were balanced across the board, offensively and defensively. They were balanced across the board, putting up almost 400 yards of offense, giving up less than 350 yards of defense. Even in 2023, they put up 26 points per. They was giving up 26 points per game. And even in those 2 seasons when he was just a defense, when he was in charge of defense, he was there. Guess what? 7-6, 9-4 is what Mississippi State was. That's what they were. Ladies and gentlemen, I really want us to take a look at this team, and we have to look at this and be like, this is a team that we have to take seriously, man. We have to take them seriously. We have to. It's imperative that we take this team seriously, ladies and gentlemen. After we come back from this break, man, we're going to pick who wins this game, and I want you all to tell me, who do y'all have winning this game in the chat when it's all said and done. After this, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. We'll be right back right after these messages from our sponsors, man. Shout out to them, man. Thank you. Hey, you listening? If you're trying to eat like a champ today, you already know where you got to go. Adelines by Chef Country. Smoked ribs, real flavor, no shortcuts. Yeah, they do it right. Tap in right now. Call them at 334-498-2325 or slide through at 2371 Highway 14 in Otagoville, Alabama. Adelines, your official pregame meal.
Do you drink energy drinks and then a few hours later feel sluggish? Don't worry, I got the solution for you. Try Dubby. Dubby is a jitterless energy drink mix designed for better focus, clean energy, and no sugar crashes later. Whether you are working, watching Water Cooler Talk Sports Network, or locked in on game day, Dubby helps keep you going. Visit the link on your screen right now and take advantage of the discount and level up your energy with Dubby.
Shout out to everybody that rock with us here, man. I got Chef Country, Adelines by Chef Country, man, where we do it right. 2371 Highway 14, Starkville, Alabama, man. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, man, we will be there October 17, 2026, going live from Adelines in Starkville, man, for the Auburn versus Georgia game. And we want you all to come out and join us, man. Details about that will be coming soon. Will be coming in the next couple of weeks, next couple of months, before that game comes. But man, before that, man, if you want to take a trip up to Adelines, man, and check out our guy Chef Country, aka Kid Country, aka Edward, aka the Charleston White of YouTube, man. Man, make sure you take a trip up there and check out our guy, man. Get the ribs, man. Get the chicken, yo. Get the double cheeseburger, yo. Get the strawberry banana pudding, yo. Get everything. I'm telling you, man, you will not be disappointed, man. 2371 Highway 14, Starkville, Alabama, man, where we do it right. Your official pregame meal and the official pregame meal of Water Cooler Talk Sports, man. Also, man, shout out to one of our sponsors, Dubby, man. If you want to get, that clean energy drink mix, I know a lot of people in here drink energy drinks, right? I know we drink a lot of energy drinks. You want that clean energy drink mix? Telling you, man, Dubby is the place to go. No sugar, no crashes later. I'm telling you, you want to get them, man. You see that link at the bottom of the graphic there. You can type that link in. Better yet, I did one better for you. The link for that is actually in the description of this show. So if you go to the description, you will see where it says get Dubby today or try Dubby today and hit that link. Once you hit that link and you go to the checkout, you order what you want, you go in the checkout, you will get an automatic 10% discount for using that link right there with Dubby. So, man, shout out to Dubby, man, and we appreciate y'all so much, man, for rocking with us and supporting Water Cooler Talk Sports Network here, man. Let's keep this thing moving, man. We got about 3 minutes left before we get out of here, man, and we appreciate y'all so much, man, for continuing to rock with us here, man. Let's take a look at some of the impact players. We talked about a lot of them so far tonight, man. Kelly Jones at quarterback. You talk about Fluff Bothwell at the running back position. You talk about Kamario Taylor. You talk about Anthony Evans III, and of course Dalen Evans on that defensive side of the ball, man. You look at what Mississippi State lost in game as well, man. You look at what they lost in game. You look at the guys that they lost. You lost Blake Shapen. You lost Brennan Thompson. You lost a lot of those guys that was on this team last year that were very, 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 very important pieces to this team. But you also look at what they brought in. You look at what they brought in, man. You look at DJ Chester being one of those names. Zach Arnett, who you talked about a lot. Jordan Gilbert at that safety position, man. You look at those guys, man. Marquise Johnson. Didn't talk about him a lot on this show, but trust me, he is a very important piece, and he's going to be one of those other guys in this room that will be able to help, that will be able to be in a position to get open. And when they get the ball to him, as long as he can catch it, he'll be able to make a play to get this defense down the field, man. You look at the all-time series against Mississippi State. This right here is the all-time series, man. Auburn leads this series 66-28 with 2 ties. The last matchup between Auburn and Mississippi State was October 28th, 2023 at Auburn. Was the last matchup. Auburn won that game 27-13. And of course, this matchup, the next matchup is actually on my birthday. November 14th of this year is when they will play again as well. So, yeah, I'll be watching this game on my birthday. Hopefully I can go to it. We'll see what happens there and things of that nature, man. But it is what it is, man. As you can see, all-time series record, Auburn leads the series, 66 wins to 28. But I'm telling you, this is not your same Mississippi State football team, ladies and gentlemen. It is not. So let's not sit here and just think that this Mississippi State football team is going to be what we have noticed and what this team has been in the past. Mississippi State always gives Auburn a tough game, is what they do. So we have to be prepared for it. We've come to that part of the show now where we have to make our predictions. And I'm looking at the chat, man, and I see a lot of people putting their predictions in right now in the chat. Zooted, man, says Auburn is just a few recruiting cycles ahead of State. This comes down to the dudes, and Auburn just has more on their roster right now. I don't see how Auburn loses unless they overlook this game. P-Pass says he has Auburn winning 21-17 as well, man. Mike McKinney says he has Auburn 38-17. Says Jeremiah Cobb goes off in this game. Okay. King Richard said he has Auburn 41-34 in this game. Man, wow. Ooh, man, that is wow. That is a big number. I'm going back and forth on this game. I'm going back and forth. Auburn, Mississippi State has always played tough games against each other. They've always played tough games against each other. And I honestly don't know which way to go right now. But as I always say, I reserve the right to change my mind before the season starts. This is just how I feel right now. Offensively, I think both offenses look pretty good. I think both offenses are gonna complement each defense well. DJ Durkin, we've seen him do it here on the Plains, defensively. So I have no gripes against or no ill will or no thoughts that he won't get it done. Zach Arnett, by the numbers, have shown me that when he's paired with an offensive-minded guy that does the exact same thing similar or something similar to what Jeff Lebby is doing, he has the ability to go out and put up numbers on the defensive side of the ball that are comparable and help that team win football games. Man, this is a tough one for me to pick, but it's too much Auburn in me, baby. I'm picking Auburn to win the football game. I got Auburn winning this game 38-35. 3-point win. Alex McPherson potentially comes in and kicks a game-winning field goal. Auburn wins on the road, and this is the game that will help them keep them potentially in the conversation of the college football playoff, ladies and gentlemen, man. Give me Auburn to win this game on the road and get a big win. Alex Golis keeps the guys focused, and he keeps Auburn fans engaged in the season. Auburn does what they're supposed to do. Auburn wins 38-35. It will be a great game, ladies and gentlemen, and I appreciate that so much. Mob Ties in the chat, 39-13, good guys. War Eagle, man. Tim the Tool Man Taylor says Auburn 27, Mississippi State 24. And, of course, D-Lev in the chat. What's up, D-Lev? He says Auburn 30, Mississippi State 17. Ladies and gentlemen, man, we appreciate y'all so much, man, for continuing to rock with us here around the water cooler. I want to pub this one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure that y'all remember the pregame playlist premieres June 29, 2026, 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central. 2-hour morning show, a new morning show experience coming to your ears here on Water Cooler Talk Sports Network. Your morning, your sports, your playlist. We'll be talking culture. We'll be talking sports. We'll be talking music. We'll be playing music. I'm telling you, this is something new that you have not seen on YouTube with what we want to do here with this network at Water Cooler Talk Sports. We are just getting started. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, tell your friends to come join us and be a part of the show here as well. And make sure that you make us a part of your morning routine with the pregame playlist, man, and press play on your pregame playlist, man. Thank y'all so much, man, for rocking with us here around the water cooler tonight, man. As always, it is Memorial Day. Thank y'all for giving me a little bit of your time tonight on Memorial Day weekend. And always remember the ones that gave their lives, that paid the ultimate sacrifice for us to be able to sit here on this here YouTube and talk sports and be able to sit here and watch me and watch other people talk sports and have the freedoms that we have right now. Ladies and gentlemen, man, as always, you all have a good one. Better yet, y'all have a great one. Y'all be blessed, man. Make sure you give the man upstairs above his, because he deserves all the praise and all the glory. And we'll be back Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. We will be previewing the Sanford Bulldogs, the game before the Iron Bowl. But we have to look at every opponent on our schedule. And we're going to do that, man. So we will be talking to Sanford Bulldogs on Wednesday, and we'll be back Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. As Martin wrote on the wall when he walked out of the department for the last time, he wrote 2 words. 2 words were one love. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you when we see you. You all be blessed. Y'all have a good one. Be easy. Peace.
This has been a presentation of Water Cooler Talk Sports.